Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. I am super, super excited to present my guest, Robinlynncoaching. She is here and she's going to share who she is, and she's going to talk about what it is that she can do to help you. So Robin, take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Tammy is such a wonderful soul. I have such high hopes for this talk. I help spiritual entrepreneurs and coaches to monetize their magic and really bring them into full power into what they do. I help them to increase sales, and I do that through energy work and breath work healing, and really using sacred selling strategies that I have formulated and have used on myself and other clients. And it is such a pleasure to be here. I love the spiritual work. I love the science. So I'm all about both worlds.
That is so amazing. I love it. So now we got to take it all the way back.
Oh, back. We're throwback. It's not even Thursday, but we're doing it.
So we're going to throw back, and I want to know, when you started on this journey, was it what you expected? Did you kind of know you were going in that direction, or, share that story?
So, girl, I am the type that had 5 majors in college. I couldn't decide what the hell I was going to do with my life. And the same happened for my entrepreneurial journey. So with me, I thought, and I went when the pandemic hit, I got every certification under the sun. I didn't know if I wanted to be a health coach or a life coach or a business coach. And I was just piling on the courses and the certifications. And people that have been following me from way back knew I was doing gut health and neuroscience coaching and all this stuff. And then finally, I looked at who I am as a person and my soul and what has drawn me into having a higher connection to what I'm supposed to do and the purpose and the mission I have on my heart. And I am spiritual. I love universal laws and, manifestation, but I also play the pipe organ at church and I sing. So I have such spiritual essence about me.
I love it. I love it.
And my master's is in neuroscience, so I meld those two together. And again, it's been a journey for sure. Yeah. So throwback. I was just trying to find my way when the pandemic hit, and it's led me to this amazing place where I'm able to help spiritual entrepreneurs to really elevate their message, because I feel like so many people have such a big heart for service,
Yes.
but they don't have the maybe strategy side or that divine masculine where they're being able to put that in place, but also tap into their feminine power that we all have within us as goddesses.
Yes, 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 yes. That is so powerful, because spiritual entrepreneurs need that kind of help, because, as you said, we want to serve, and I can think about my own life where I grew up in church. My grandmother was a pastor, preacher, teacher, evangelist, prophetess type, and so we grew up spoon-fed the word from infancy.
Yes.
I think when we could talk, we were spoon-fed the word, because they used to make us memorize scriptures and some of the Psalms and different things. And, so I understand that. And it's like, okay, but then when you start to open up to spirituality, let's say, I call it open up to more of God, on greater levels and deeper dimensions.
Yes.
It's like a whole new world opens up, because I know when I was going to church regularly, or when I was a member of a church, because they could always sense my servant heart. and it's not so different on the spirituality side.
Absolutely.
They could sense it. And so to me, what I see in the churches is that when they see a servant's heart, they're going to use you.
And God uses you too.
Yes.
Yes, it's so beautiful because a lot of the people in spirituality, they have, like you said, this big heart for service, and they just want to give of themselves and give of their, everything that they have. But on the monetizing side, they're really, kind of lacking that, they want to give everything away for free.
Yeah.
And although I love the servant heart and, being charitable and all of that, which I do love doing, you have to be paid. By being paid, your message is able to propel further. Your income will help your impact in the world.
Yes, that part. And it's like, I actually heard somebody say, a spiritual entrepreneur, oh, I don't believe in charging for my gifts. But what I've learned is that is actually violating the laws.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a law of giving and receiving. There's a law of circulation. You can't.
Yes.
There has to be some type of energy exchange, and I understand from the point of view of people looking at people in the Bible and that kind of thing. But the thing is what they don't realize is that in the Bible, the people that were spiritual, let's call them spiritual entrepreneurs, people that were spiritual entrepreneurs, the prophets and the servants and the seers, all these people, the people took care of them.
Right. So whether it's a barter system or you're getting an actual monetary, stipend, or it's something. Yes, for sure.
They took care of them. So it wasn't like, they had to run around and, charge the whatever they were, the barn, the corn or whatever they had, they didn't have to run around and do that. And that's the thing that I think a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs don't understand, is that not only that is, to me, when you are doing this deep work with people and then you are not getting paid, it tends to get you eventually burned out.
Right. Absolutely.
And what I see is a lot of powerful spiritual entrepreneurs, people that, really can help people, they get burned out and they stop doing this work. And so I think that people like you that can help, spiritual entrepreneurs to monetize their message. I think that's like so important right now. And so one of the things, when I saw some of your stuff, because I went through your page, saw your stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, this girl needs to come on. I said, people need to know, that people like you are out there and available to assist, because what happens a lot of times is we get these coaches that are reaching out to us, and some of us have gone into some of these programs, but they weren't for us.
Right.
No, they weren't for us. They didn't deal with the energy, because we all know that you need a strategy, but a lot of times what I notice is that spiritual entrepreneurs fight against that. Even though we need it, we do. Everybody needs a strategy.
Right. Well, there's a divine balance of the masculine and the feminine, but if you just have a coach that's all push, 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 and none of the flow, you need a little bit of go, a little bit of flow. It's a balance. So,
and that's important. And that, to me, when you have that, then you can actually take the steps that you need to take as a spiritual entrepreneur, because as you said, a lot of us have done exactly what you did. Especially, like I said, I always say, I just finished my bachelor's in metaphysics, but I went to school for decades, off and on. Went to school when I first got out of high school for 3 years and don't have no degree to show for it. Then went to nursing school because I was like, I got to do something, but I did like you. I changed my major and about 3-4 times. So I had all these credits, but they were nothing, and it's like that also for us in the spiritual community as well, because there's so many courses. Like I had decided that this year I was not doing courses. Or if this is what I said, if a course really, really calls to me, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to kick it around, think about it, and see if I really need to do it. Otherwise, I'm not doing any. Like I've been doing a training, but I really enjoy it, and it's one I can afford. It's not killing me to do it. I don't have to take out a second mortgage on my house.
Some of them you do for sure.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh no, I'm not doing that. And so I said, not doing that, because I've taken so many, like you, so many. I have so many certificates and so many things, and it's like, okay, where am I going to go with this? And how can I, monetize some of these things?
Exactly.
And but I decided that I'm coursed out. Not doing that right now. Maybe next year it'll be a different year and I'll think of something or whatever. But no, I was like, this year it's about me sitting with me.
That's so good.
Yeah, me in spirit, us, my team. Like,
Right.
come on, show me, is this where I need to go or whatever? Because I'm like, Lord Jesus. And I didn't even realize, a lot of courses we take, you take the course and you get your little certificate, and then but you don't really do
You
anything.
don't use it. It's basically, I have a closet full of certificates. If you don't apply the knowledge that you've learned,
Yeah.
even my master's degree sits in the closet. It's water stained. It was sitting in my
Oh,
trunk of my car forever. I don't have it like, I'm not trying to flaunt it. It's literally in there. But if you don't apply all of this wisdom that you learn and you don't take action on the things that you've got in your brain, it's not going to help you.
yes, yes. And um I'm seeing a lot of that out here in these internet streets, as we say. It's like, oh my God, because you talk to people and they're like, did you know I was a certified blah blah? You're like, no, I didn't. It's like, okay. Or somebody told me, yeah, I'm a whatever, whatever. And I said, oh, really? I said, well, what are you gonna do with that?
I don't know.
No one to know. Well, and I understand that too, because I like to learn. I like
Yes.
to learn and I like to know stuff and I like to grow and all that stuff. But I want it to come together.
Yes.
And that's the part.
But
Uh,
when you're able to sit with yourself and have that co-creation with spirit, you have the aha moments and the light bulb moments that you're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do.
and sometimes and this is what I've learned, is that sometimes it doesn't happen exactly when you think it should.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're doing all the things, and I always talk to people and I say, even if you're doing all the things, you're manifesting and you're meditating and you're praying and you're doing all these things, but you're calling it forth, you're stepping into it, you're embodying it, and all these things that we do, and then it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, what's going on?
Right. It's where
So
the trust comes in.
I was going to say, what would you say to that person?
Yes. I think there is such need for trust in the divine timing of everything. I
Yes.
use the analogy of, you don't go to a restaurant and order food and sit there thinking, oh my gosh, is this food actually going to come? Do I have this food coming? Like, you just have relaxed expectation. You know that you are there for a purpose and you will have that food to you in time, but you know what I mean? It's same
Yes.
thing with Amazon packages. You
Amazon,
don't
yes.
order it and then go online and you're checking every second. You have that relaxed expectation within you that, yes, when the time is right, this will get to me.
Yes, that is so perfect, because that's exactly what I tell people. I said, it's like when you order from Amazon, you
Mm-hmm.
know that your shit is gonna come. You ordered it,
Exactly.
then they told you that it was gonna come this day or whatever, or between this day and this day if it's coming from across the world,
Exactly.
oh, it's not gonna be here tomorrow, like normal, you got your Prime delivery, da 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 da. But you're not going and checking. And same thing, I was telling somebody about that with manifesting. I said, I am manifesting my house. I said, because I decided that is what I wanted. I said, now what I have done is we have already purchased the land, so that's already done. I said, so now I said, I'm relaxed and I am in this state of, I've already been in the house. I've already slept in the house. I've slept in the bed. Matter of fact, I sleep in the bed almost every night. My new house.
Right.
But I'm relaxed about it. I'm not jumping up and down. I'm not anxious about, when is it going to come? How long is it going to take and all this stuff? I'm not even thinking about that.
Right.
And it's amazing because I had a conversation with my mom about it, and because my mom is kind of, I think she's a manifester. Yeah. And so I'm like, Mom, no. So I have to go, no, it's okay. Because I know that it is here. I know that the timing is divine for when, we get to go into this place. I said, and I'm not in a rush. I said, we're not stressing about it. I said, it's not like we don't have a house, what I mean?
Right.
I said, so I'm not. And
right.
So with this journey, I know you want to say something.
I do. I'm like,
no, wait, no. I'm like,
I just feel that we forget that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And as you live in society, we're all so focused on immediate gratification that is why when it comes down to trusting spirit and trusting your higher power, people tend to want to rush what is already destined for them.
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. It's already in your vortex.
Exactly.
It's already destined for you. They already set it in motion. So you just have to.
Yes.
It
if it wasn't destined for you, you wouldn't have that desire in your heart. That's what I truly believe.
Ah, that is so. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. Because I know that, people are watching us or listening to us and they're like, yeah, but I had that in my heart. You know what I mean? But I still don't have it. I know that it's destined for me because I've seen it, because I talk to people all the time and these are things that they say. I've seen it and I know I'm supposed to have it, but I don't have it yet, especially if it's like a person, they're
right.
Or, kids even, I've been waiting and I've been praying and I know I'm supposed to be a mother and all this stuff, so what would you say to that?
I think we can sit and we can pray and we can wish and we can talk to spirit, but we need aligned action along with these feelings. And so often we sit there and think that we can just manifest from thin air. And I've seen it so often where people just try to wish themselves to a better life. And manifestation, as we've discussed, is a co-creation with spirit, is a co-creation. And you have to take that divine action in knowing that when the time is right, with that action involved, that you will achieve everything you desire. So that's really what I would say for sure.
That is so powerful. I mean, the thing is, and we see this all the time. I don't know if you, and I know you, yes, I do. I know that you can. Sometimes I see posts and I can feel the desperation in them. And that to me, I guess when I think about your work, the way that you described it, I would think that that is an area that you work with people on, is releasing that desperation.
Yes.
That desperate energy, because, I know that if we can feel it, other people can feel it. I can read the energy behind words. I have always really been able to do it. I just didn't know that was what I did.
Yes.
But I can see it, even without people doing the big letters, he did it was screaming,
right.
That, so when you see that type of thing, what would be the first thing that you would say to that person if they came to you and said, I don't know what's going on, I've been posting and I've been doing the things and I've been doing the lives and I've been, doing the energy work behind it and all that stuff, but I just can't seem to get any traction, all that desperate energy. What was the first thing that you would say to them, to help them to get in that space?
Honestly, first I would be like, chill out. You know what I mean? Because when that desperation starts going, listen, we live in a society where we need money to survive,
Yeah.
right? This is not something that's
negotiable.
Exactly. So, I would totally recommend that when people are, I would do an audit with them, to be honest with you. I come from both the strategy side of things and the energy side of things. And if somebody came to me like, I don't understand why this isn't working, I would check messaging first of all, because like you said, a lot of the times people are doing these tactics and these scarcity tactics and these just strategies that they've heard from other marketing gurus that help people make decisions. And using my neuroscience as well as my spirituality, I'm able to talk and help people speak to people's brain, if that makes sense. So I utilize, and I know there's some spiritual entrepreneurs, I will say, that don't like talking to pain points in their messaging. They just want to talk to desired outcomes. And while I see their heart in that, it's also not serving to the client. And what I mean by that is we kind of live in our primitive brain where it's fight or flight. And you need to be reminded of what that kind of bad outcome will be if you don't take action and if you don't get to your desired goal. How will your life not be what you want it to be,
Yes. And that's perfect, actually, because I was actually gonna ask that question, because I have heard that same thing. You don't want to speak to the pain points, you want to speak to the healed version of them, and all this kind of stuff. And so I can see it on both sides, just like you said. I
Yes.
see the reason why they would say that. But then the other part too is, you're right, when you're speaking to that person that is in that space where they're ready to level up, but they're here, they're in this place where they're still hurting and stuff like that.
Some people can't see behind that, beyond rather, that pain. So you have to, yes, you're going to elevate them, and yes, you have the solution. Most people make buying decisions with their emotional brain. Actually, people think it's the logical side, but it's actually not. When people are making their decision, the emotional brain, the limbic part, the amygdala, the hippocampus, the memories, the essence of who they are, that's what triggers them. So I use brain-based branding in my grid personally, and I teach other spiritual entrepreneurs to do that as well, because a lot of the times people will make a decision on whether they want to purchase from you within a split second. If they like the way that your things look, if they like the way that you sound, they'll have that relationship built with you right away. And then they will confirm that buying decision with the logical side of their brain. So it's emotion and logic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. If you think about it, that's really how we all do.
Yes.
You go, you go look at something, you're out at, I'm gonna say Ross's because it's across the street. Go in there all the time, and sometimes I go for one thing, and then I go in there, and then you on the side of the thing, and they've got, like, they sell teas, which are amazing a lot of times, and of course, you get what you get.
Right.
So, like, once you get them, like, if I see some teas that I want, I usually get 3 or 4 boxes, or how many I can get. Because I know I might not ever see them again, and usually if they're good, that kind of thing. But you go in there like that. Same thing with the grocery store, even.
Right.
And
Like,
even online, you look and you see something like, I don't know about you, but I bought courses like that. I look and I'm
oh, oh yeah.
like, yeah, I need that. Yeah,
Yes.
I think that'll help me.
See, it's the emotions and then the novelty of something new is
Yeah.
triggering the dopamine in your brain. So people get addicted to that dopamine hit. And that's why I'm so passionate about people not just taking course after course and certification after certification for validation within themselves. People need to know that they're already worthy now.
That is so good. And that's so real because, it's like you look on there and you could take classes literally every day, courses.
Mm-hmm.
I have courses now still on Udemy.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't finished. I look at them periodically. I go, okay, I need to go finish this one. Or I have
Right.
some that I'm like, I think I ran through it too fast. I'm gonna go,
Right. Yeah.
and it's like that a lot of times in a lot of areas, especially with spiritual entrepreneurs, because we want to know, and then the other thing too is, a lot of times we look at these shows and we think that that stuff is real, but it's really not, like
Mm-hmm.
Witch, then, gonna
Yeah.
go way back. What's her name? Jeannie.
Oh, yeah.
I think about Jeannie. Like, ding, yeah, I would love to be,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people think that that stuff is real. And sometimes as spiritual entrepreneurs, we have to fight against that stuff,
Right. Absolutely.
because people, yeah. They're like, well, you're a psychic, so you must already know. And I'm like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
don't.
not how it works.
Like, that ain't how it works, honey. No.
Right.
So, in your work going forward, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's such a great question. I see myself holding the most magical retreats. Um, that's really on my heart to do in-person work.
Yeah.
I think that, it's great to be able to connect with people that normally wouldn't have the ability to do so, like we're talking today across the country from one another, but my heart is really to bring people together on a magical experience of energetic enlightenment and just working with other entrepreneurs. Also, I want to collaborate with others because we all have special gifts that we're able to provide.
Yes.
And it's not that I'm above anyone else. I think that everyone that is my client is able to teach me something as well. So I look at these retreats as a just
Like a
divine
gathering of
gathering.
souls.
Yes. And I just feel it as just this collaborative experience where we can all learn from each other and grow and just have that time to sit with spirit and sit with ourselves.
In community, which is
Yes, of course.
which
Yeah.
is what most people lack.
Yes,
It's like
exactly.
what most people, want. And
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps as I talk about this. I need this to happen. I'm calling this in, Tammy.
I'm gonna say it's already done.
Exactly.
Already done. Like, where would you have it? Ideally.
Mm.
Okay, let's say this. Where would you have the first one, ideally?
The first one, wow. I mean, everyone is big on, these beach retreats and things like that, but that's not my vibe. I'm seeing this in more of a divine forest in like a cabin or even like a tree house, like something that's so magical with a lake and the building is just all glass. So we see like the sunrise through the trees and the
Oh yeah.
birds chirping in the morning, and we're able to go on hikes with each other and sit around a bonfire at night and just beautifully have an experience. People bring a guitar, we sing, we just I just feel it.
That sounds so magical. Sounds so magical. So what are you thinking? You thinking the Poconos? You thinking Tennessee?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
local. You see, I don't like when these retreats are, these retreats, I'd love to go on so many of them, but if you're going across the seas,
Raleigh.
people need passports, people need a lot of time off from work.
Yes,
I'm thinking just to make this so accessible to spiritual entrepreneurs that this is something, yeah, maybe the Poconos or maybe Vermont or just something that's
yes.
like
Beautiful.
something accessible where they don't have to take a very long car ride or airplane ride to get to, you know?
Yes, yes. That is so awesome. I can just feel it. It just feels so good. Just
Yes.
because the thought of that is like, okay. And because here's the thing that I've learned as well in this spiritual space, it feels like, especially when I first got on this journey, it felt like I always had to be on, always had to be on, always had to be on. And to be honest, I stayed in the spiritual closet for a little while because
Yes.
because people are something.
Mm-hmm.
Be a whole
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, so speak to I want you to speak to the parallel entrepreneurs because you're one.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make that work where it feels good to you?
As far as parallel, what do you mean by that?
Like
Just,
you still work a job in your
oh yeah.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So absolutely. So for me, it's just finding the time to know what you're passionate about and to know that that will eventually be everything you need. People that work in corporate still, or they still have another job and they're trying to build this, it is a balance. And it is something that, like we've talked about this whole time, in divine timing, everything will align. The people that are meant to come into your world, as Tammy came into mine, and you better bet, Tammy, you're getting an invitation to my treehouse. Um,
Because I
you
watch
know,
things on Discovery Channel. I love those things.
yes,
All
yes, like,
those what I think it's Netflix had a thing on different places
yeah,
to live.
yeah.
Yeah, they had
I
the
mean,
house.
and who knows, one day maybe we'll be in a rainforest and like,
Yeah,
amazing animals,
I'm
but
gonna say I live there, so it's okay.
yeah, but I just feel like we have a lifetime to live, and yes, we don't know what tomorrow brings, but if you can just live every day in your purpose and in your truth, you will attain everything. And just knowing that you do not need permission by anybody. I've already said this, but you are worthy now. You don't need permission from your family. You don't need permission from your friends. I know as a spiritual entrepreneur, like you said, sometimes people give you a little interesting look,
Because
like, like, okay, she's gone off her rocker again. Are you taking your medicine? I don't know.
go see somebody.
Yes, exactly. And I'll tell you what, it's beautiful when it all comes together. So,
Yes, yes. I am just so excited just to be having this conversation because this stuff lights me up. I geek out.
yes. Yes.
Just being able to shift, help people shift because that's
Mhm.
what I feel like it is that you do.
Yes.
It's like you help them to shift, especially, because I know a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs out here are not making any money.
Mhm.
And they do magical work.
Right.
I know some, I'm like, oh my God, girl, you do magical work, but
Right.
you need to charge more.
And it's stepping away from that hourly rate as well. I help people to see that the transformative experience that they're able to bring people on is worth more. You are worth a high ticket price. And it's not something where a lot of people think that, oh, I'll just charge you $50 for an hour or $100 for an hour, where if you had an experience that you walk them through and a problem that you help them solve over a couple months, you could have that high ticket income and be able to serve more, because like you said, it's an energetic exchange.
Yeah.
People pay attention to what they pay for.
You got that right, because I don't know about you, but I was taking inventory. I told you this is my inventory year. I was taking inventory and, taking steps and moving. And so I started looking at some of my emails and some things, that I had saved on the computer, Dropbox, all these things. And I found so many little master classes and different things that I took, and I never even looked at it.
Right.
And I start, because you sign up for the free one. Oh, get my strategy for blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked at some of them and I was like, damn, this is some good shit.
Right.
Through, and I just started like going through and like clicking and seeing, and some of the stuff, I did some of the work and stuff, even though, that probably was, some of them were like a couple of years old.
Right.
But I realized that there's so many things like that we do and we sign up for, and we don't even do anything, just like you said. But the stuff that I signed up, that I paid for,
you better bet you were on there.
I was like, okay. But then what I'm finding out too is that it used to be a time where you go on these little trainings, these little master classes, and basically they would just drip you like a little something. Mm-hmm. What I noticed is like a lot of people do, like some of the people that do speaking things, they'll drip you something, it's just a little something, like a nugget. And then after that, you got to go, spend $5,000 in order to learn the rest of this.
Right. Right. So the little teaser, or like the master class, is just the setup to the sale. And you get burnt out. I'm so burnt out of master classes. I just
I'm like, no. Like people will invite me to them, and I'm like, or especially somebody invited me to a 21-day challenge. I said, I do not have the capacity for that. I'm not even gonna, I can't do it. I was like, it doesn't work out well for my life. I'm not consistent, so I'm not going to, I tell them, I said, I don't want to bring your algorithm down.
That's a good comeback.
I'm like, I'm not going to be consistent. I'm telling you, I can't do it. I was like, it's not in me. I was like, I'm a 3-day, 5-day girl. It's just like work. I used to be like a 2-year girl at work. Like I would go and work somewhere and I would give them a good solid 2 years. And then after that, usually I gotta go.
Right.
Time for me to go. I need variety. I need change.
Yes.
I said, if you think about it, I think about it in terms of like food. Like I'm not the person that can eat the same thing every single day. Except when I was a kid, I could eat chicken a la king. I love that.
Nice.
I love that. Was my favorite. Yeah. Or oatmeal. I used to love oatmeal every day. But like, like now it's like, no. I could eat it about 3 good days. And then after that, I'm done.
Right.
Eat something else. And it's the same way with all of this.
Right.
You know what? Yes, this is great. And I love this. But no, I can't do this for that many days. That's just not going to work out for me.
Yes.
All right. So we are going to land this plane.
All right.
I am so excited. This has been such an amazing talk. I could actually talk to Robin probably another hour. And it is okay. However, Robin, share with the people if you have any programs coming up, or and where they can find you, connect with you the easiest.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the best way to contact me and reach out is through Robinlynncoaching. Robin with an I, Lynn with a Y, 2 N's, coaching. That's on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. In the link in my bio, I have the ways to work with me. I'm currently offering Monetize Your Magic as a one-on-one experience with me, either a 3-month or a 6-month session. I love to offer that to anybody. And then aside from that, I'm just doing breath work for spiritual entrepreneurs to get them to their, just to have them release all of that tension that they have and to allow them to regulate their nervous system so that they can sell more efficiently. So that's my 2 main offers at the moment. And I invite anyone to contact me there on Instagram.
Okay. And do you have a Facebook group at all, or?
I do. You can get into that by going to Instagram. I just starting the Facebook group now, actually. I've been more active on Instagram, but that's coming soon. So I have the link to that in my bio on Instagram as well, if anybody wants to jump in there as well.
And I'll have all her links in the show notes too.
Perfect.
So you can click on them. It'll be easy to find and all of that stuff, because I find that makes it easier for people to find people.
Yes, I just did that with one of the lovely people you spoke with a couple days ago that you had sent me, and we connected on Instagram. So I appreciate that.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And see, this is what it's all about for me.
Connection.
I do. I love connecting because, like I said, I am not only a reflector, but I am a super introvert. So I could just be right here doing just what I'm doing and be fine with it.
Right.
However, I'm noticing that, I love to do the in-person work as well.
Yes.
So I was actually kind of kicking around, should I look for like a little office or even like a space like, how they have those salon, do they have I know they have them over there, the salons. They'll have like, all kinds of people in with little offices in a building.
Yeah, of course.
I was looking at that. I was like, well, maybe I should, look into that, because
Yeah.
I have started enjoying the in-person stuff. I didn't used to. I've done almost everything on Zoom. But,
Right.
I started kind of, I started doing that a little bit and enjoying it. And I was like, wow. And then I had a young lady was like, do you have a space? Because I would love to come to you, because, I did a mini healing for her at a market. And I was like, wow, well, no, I don't.
Right.
Like, I'm a distance girl.
You could always rent an office for a day too. If you had clients once a week or something, you could have clients come in. So that's always a suggestion.
Yes. I actually saw that on one of the salon things, because I went on, what is the place? Craigslist, because I know you can find stuff like that on there. And so I went on one of those, and it were like, yeah, you could rent one for a day, and then somebody else had an open space where they were looking for somebody to come, and rent
it
and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I was like, okay, so I'm kind of, I put
or you
that.
could do an office share with someone. Exactly.
Hey, that's what I've been looking for. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll put that out there to the universe. And when the time is right, it'll show up.
It will, for
The right
sure.
timing. I'm like, yeah. And it's crazy about that too. It's like, in the past, I would have had a low level anxiety about that. But now it's like, no, and I've noticed that shift for me, and it's been a long time coming.
Yes.
Because I'm over
It's
50.
already done, Tammy. It's already done.
It's already done. I love that. All right. So thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. And I am so excited. And I would love it if you are a spiritual entrepreneur, for you to reach out to my friend Robin Lynn Coaching, because she can help you to, get your magic monetized, because that's what we all want. We all want our magic monetized, although, because what I also notice is that, a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs are sick. And I feel like, as I started digging into this, and studying all the different things, I feel like a lot of that is related to not having the energy exchange. Said, and I just, that just came to me, and I was like, yeah, we're sick because we're not having the energy exchange.
Right.
You know,
And
you
I'm
have
burnt out.
thing exactly, and it burns you out, and you don't even realize. Because I see them, I'm like, oh girl, you know, you need to take a break,
Right.
take a sabbatical, chill out, and do something, have some fun.
Right. Yes.
Anyway,
Mm,
thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been
so welcome.
my pleasure, and I have loved it. Robin, thank you for joining me. I'm so excited because when I saw you, I was like, I need her on my show. I'm always
Thank
thinking about
you.
how to help other people, especially, you know, spiritual entrepreneurs. And I think that is kind of really the reason why I shifted my show to that, because I know that, you know, there's a lot of us out here that, you know, aren't making any money and trying to figure it out and trying not to, you know, spend $12,000 that you ain't got, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I've heard the stories, you know, and it's like, oh my God. And I've been in stories, you know. So,
Yes.
oh my God, you know, we got to stop doing that. However, you know, we still want to get our magic out into the world because we know that, you know, we're here for a purpose. You know, we're
Mm,
here to help shift humanity, to help change, you know, get all this negativity out of the world and everything, and, you know, make positivity the norm instead of negativity.
yes.
So anyway,
All right.
I'm grateful.
Thank you, Tammy.
Sure that you check us out on all the platforms that we are on, and make sure that you are subscribed to YouTube, where this video will show and it will premiere in a couple of weeks. So I'm so excited. So if you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you are looking to monetize your magic, you want to reach out to Robin Lynn Coaching. And if you want to come on here and talk about it on Straight Outta Savannah, I would love to have you. So just reach out to me wherever you see me. You can Google me. I'm everywhere that you want to be. So enjoy. Bye now.